Namaste, Hare Krishna. We are on chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, and today the verse number is 7. Asmākaṁ tu viśiṣṭāye tā nibodha dvijottama nāyakā mama sainyasya saṁjñā-artham tān bravīmi te. Translation: but for your information, O best of the brāhmaṇas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. This sloka is the continuation of Duryodhana's conversation with his guru Dronacharya. In the previous 3 sets of slokas, he listed out Pandavas, a total of 19 in numbers, Pandavas' troop. After he spoke about Pandavas, how great they are, how wonderful they are, how skilled they are. Now he realized that praising the opponent in front of his own party is not a good leadership quality or encouragement. So he now wanted to rectify that and wanting to encourage his army, his party. Therefore, he speaks to Dronacharya. For your kind information, let me also inform you about the personality on our side. Asmākaṁ tu viśiṣṭā, who are powerful in our group also. The question that may rise for Dronacharya is, why you have to tell me about our party? They are not new to me, where you have to introduce them to me. And Duryodhana's response is, yes, you know them, but for your information, FYI, as we say, just for your information, saṁjñā-artham, you may not know the way that you need to know them. You may know them, but you may not know the exactly way that you should know them. You might know them as a warrior, but let me tell you how they are not as great as you think. I do not need to tell you about them because I need to tell you about them because you are the one who's going to lead the entire this battle on our side, and you need to know who are the people on our side and what skills they have, how they can perform. So accordingly, based on that, you can make the formation of the army, the different formation. Therefore, you can also viśiṣṭā, the different formation you can make based on who can stand on which point and who is not good to stand in which point, and so forth. It's just like in a football game or in any other games, there could be a player who is skilled as a goalkeeper. Another one could be on the center of the ground. Another one could be running around. So it depends on one's ability and skills. Accordingly, the team works. Likewise, you should also know Dronacharya. Therefore, I'm going to give you more information about who all present on our side, so you can do your service, your job well, knowing these people. Asmākaṁ tu viśiṣṭā. Among ourselves, let me tell you who are those skilled people. But when he pointed the warriors on the Pandava side, the previous slokas that we saw, he did not tell, let me tell you, there's a difference between the previous set of slokas when he addressed Pandavas and over here on his side. When he addressed Pandavas, he specifically mentioned Maharathis. These are Maharathis. But then when we see when you are going to see these set of slokas on Kaurava side, there's never mention of Maharathi or any of such things. So they're just warriors. They are great, but they are great only within their group. They are not great outside their group, right? As they say, inside the house, a person is tiger. When he goes Inside, outside the house, the person is tiger, inside is a cat, or it's another way, other way around, whatever it is. So it's like that. So these people are all great within our group, but they are not so great where they can face Pandavas. After saying this sloka, Sanjaya paused for few seconds and looked at Dhritarashtra. Gave him a chance to see if Dhritarashtra is getting something out of this particular sloka, because Sanjaya felt like father, like son. In the first sloka, when the father spoke, that is Dhritarashtra spoke, he said mamaka, right, my sons, right? And then in the 7th sloka, his son, who is Duryodhana, he is saying mama sainyasya, my army. So what a wonderful father and son. Father is also having this mamakara, and son is also having mamakara. Instead, Duryodhana could have told kuruvritta pritamaha sainyam, that is or Kaurava Sainya. He could have mentioned so many different ways of addressing his Sainya, his army. Rather he said Mama Sainya, my army, my party, mine. So it is said in the Shastra that this 2-syllable, Mama, is equal to Mrityu, equal to death. Whereas when one says Na Mama, that is equal to Amrita, a nectar. Mama will bound us into further entanglement, whereas Namama will gradually release us from this entanglement. That's why we often, when we greet someone or address someone, the way that it is told is, we say is Namaste, Namaskar, Namaskaram, Namaha. Many mantras also has Namaha. Right? So the meaning of it is not mine. I do not belong to myself, or it's not for my pleasure. The question is then, who are you? Whom do you belong to? Whom does your things belongs to? In other words, I am just a servant of the Lord, and I'm not the master. Everything belongs to Him, including myself. Na mama, not mine. I do not belong to myself. Nothing belongs to me. So I have to remember when we address others, when we greet others, namaskar, namaste, meaning we accept ourselves as a submissive person. So we give respect to the other person. As long as Sanjaya is saying, as long as you both have this thing, that is ahankara and mamakara, remember, you will not win the battle. You will never win the battle. And that's the same message for all of us in our life. As long as we have these two ahankara, two ideas, that is mentioned everywhere in the Shastra, aham and mama, these two things, ahankara and mamakara, we will not be in peace. First thing is, we will not be in peace by having ahankara and mamakara. It may not appear so, but that's a fact. One thing is, we may not be in peace, and also people around us will not be either. They will also be disturbed. They won't be in peace either. Therefore, we have to learn how to be more dependent, to be free of ahankara and mamakara, like how Arjuna was dependent on Krishna than depending on our own selves. If we depend on ourselves, we are like Duryodhana, depending on the strength of his own people, his skills, his ability, and etc. etc. When we depend on Krishna, then we are like Arjuna. So Krishna will protect us. Asmākaṁ tu viśiṣṭā tā nibodha dvijottama nāyakā mama sainyasya saṁjñā-artham tān bravīmi te. Thank you. Hare Krishna.